So you think you've finished illuminating your quote. Let's take a look at what type of grade you will get. A 3 or a 4 shows me that you have incorporated some very strong design concepts in a new and unique way to the quote that you chose and the feeling and the message of the quote that you chose. So here are the strategies. Did you employ any of these? And if not, then you're not quite where you need to be yet. All right, grade-wise anyway. Please notice that strategy number 1 is that words are not spread all over the place. They're pretty tight in one location. So here we've got a good example of stacking where the Y is even layered deep into the second line there. So they're stacked pretty close together. Another strategy is to make one word larger and stack 2 lines of secondary text on your quote inside that one word. Another strategy is to justify or make both the left and the right outside look like it is a straight line and has a border around it. Another strategy is where this word down kind of hugs the words and creates a frame. And another good example of that one was, I don't remember where it was. Give me 2 seconds. Freakadeek. I don't remember where it was. Okay, I'll tell you when I see it again. I can picture it in my head and I don't see it. Come. Have you chosen to use color effectively? Here we've got the gold accent and the red. Even though the words were in black and white, there are also shades of gray and very specific use of black and white. And you'll notice on all the other quotes, there is color there. Color in the letters, color in the background, but it's not just about the background. Look at the colors in this quote right here if you're always trying to be normal. It's just a subtle color change, but a color change nonetheless. Same with whatever brings you down will eventually make you stronger. Subtle color change, but a color change nonetheless to emphasize certain words. All right. Have you placed things on purpose that give you a feel like the falls is fast? The nature of this particular path here kind of matches with the feel of the cloud, but it also kind of feels like a roller coaster. And I love that roller coaster feel of falls is fast when we're talking about love. It's great. Okay. Are you using certain effects that will be effective on very specific words, such as the shadow on the word shadow and the big, bold font on the word dark when you want to emphasize that it's large and in charge there? Have you chosen multiple colors and chosen different ways to utilize your fonts? So for example, here we have some very specific sans serif fonts, and it's been stretched super tall, and the contrast comes in with this nice little cursive here. So here we have a serif font exists when you know a, and then don't is in a sans serif, which contrasts with that nice serif font. And then the cursive also contrasts with that nice serif font. So the colors all match and it looks nice and pretty, pink and white, pretty basic and yet not basic at all. Very nice and complex and really gets the message across. Have you made sure that you're emphasizing specific words and using your effects again, like shadows and bevels and reflecting? Are you overlapping without losing messages? I love the thin font and then the thick font. Did you have some letters you stretched like gold and some you left normal like glitters? Some where you have the stroke outline and then the color inside like gold, and others where you don't need a stroke outline and the letters are one color like glitters. And what other types of strategies? So make sure that you're looking at your font choices, your placement choices, are all of your less important words or words that you're not worried about emphasizing Have you found a nice spot for them? And these are some great strategies. So if you haven't done any of those strategies and you can't talk about them in your own quote, or tall, short, thick, thin, fancy versus sans serif, color contrast, reflections, effects, opacity, turning the transparency down or up, then you're not ready to justify the changes you made. So if you have just a black quote and you haven't used any color at all, and you haven't really placed it anywhere, you just found a couple of fonts, take a look at the strategies I just discussed in this video, and that's what you should be looking for, because that's what you're going to have to justify to get your illuminated quote grade that you are seeking. All right, so hop back on, make any changes that you need, ask for some advice, and make sure to use those whole canvases, people. Use the entire canvas. And if it starts to turn into a square, change your page to a square so that it fits nice and neatly. But you're going to need to enlarge all of your text to make sure that it fits the entire canvas. All right, that's all, folks. I'm out. See you soon.